Today's topic is supplements. To take or not to take. Many supplements out there are made in chemical laboratories, or they could be made with synthetic biology, which is the genetic engineering of microbes that are put on foods that then create, say, ascorbic acid. Many of the minerals are mined minerals, they're not minerals from plants. We don't eat rocks for our food. So I'm very dubious about many of the supplements out there. And how do you make a best-selling supplement? You look at a biochemical reaction, you decide that, something like GABA is important for that biochemical reaction. You give that person GABA, hoping to drive that biochemical reaction. But in actual fact, the body is more complicated than that. The body has an innate intelligence that knows how to use the small amounts of micronutrients that you need in order to be the healthiest you can. But you've got to eat those micronutrients. And you do that by eating good quality foods. And one of the ways of learning about that is reading my book, Lab to Table, understanding how you source good quality foods and what is a good quality food, and what is a food not to consume and other foods to consume. So most of the supplements out there are made in those chemical laboratories. But don't get me wrong, there are times when I believe supplements are needed, and that's in emergency situations. Just like I believe medications are needed in emergency situations, not for lifelong sickness or health care. There are some that are needed, such as insulin, and I have hemophilia in my family, so factor VIII is required. So I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about medications that we don't really need because we can go on a diet and change those things for the most part. The same with supplements. If you have a deficiency and you feel you need to take a supplement, and your doctor or somebody with a qualification on nutrition says that it'd be important to take a supplement, then by all means do it. But I want to tell you a story. It's a story of my nephew. He had 80 centimeters of his small intestine removed due to something called an intussuspection, where the small bowel moved in on itself. The doctor took the 80 centimeters out because it had perished, and he said that he would have to take supplements for the rest of his life because there were certain supplements that were taken in by that part of the small intestine, the ileum. So he needed to probably take folic acid and B12, as well as iron. Also, this is where cholesterol as well as bile are reabsorbed back into the body. But my brother worked hard with food. We talked to Natasha Campbell-McBride as well as Jason Horlick. And what we found was that we could do this with food for the most part. So we used high density, high quality foods, and 6 months later he goes back for his checkup with the surgeon, and the surgeon is blown away that the supplements are not being taken, but food is being used. He said, "I'm the plumber. Whatever you're doing the best thing." So even in emergency situations, sometimes we can use food to help us. So if the supplement comes from food, then usually that's a good thing. So the supplements of changing habits are based on food, such as our vitamin C supplement is camu camu. We don't do anything to it except take it out, dehydrate it, and make it into a powder. In our peak performance and our green powders, they are all foods. They are not extracts, there's no colors, there's no additives, there is nothing. When you put a supplement into a capsule, you have to put in things that help you get that supplement into the capsule. So you may have to put a free-flowing agent or an anti-caking agent within the supplement so that it goes into that capsule and it makes the machine free flow, I guess. So I'm very much about powders and not about capsules. And then there are tablets. So they have to have things in those tablets in order to bind. So my suggestion is, as much as possible, use food. When you can't use food, use a food-based supplement in a powder form. When you can't use a food-based supplement in a powder form, then by all means go to an ethical company that's doing capsules. And when that all fails and you need a tablet, then once again, look for your ethical companies that are doing it. I have no problems with herbs. I absolutely love herbs and I use them a lot. So by using good foods, leading a good lifestyle, you can get the nutrition that you need. Now, I did get told when I was going through university that with the food the way it was, we could not get all the nutrition that we needed. But remember, the supplements are in micronutrients. Micronutrients mean very small amounts. Consider this. The amount of iodine that you need every single day is like a 0.00003 of a teaspoon. You do not need major amounts of this, but you do need them keeping on coming through. And with quality foods, you can do this. So that's my take on supplements. I will see you in the next video.